Hi guys, welcome to One Take Travel, and this is Anika Hafiz, your host for these videos. Now, this interesting name, One Take Travels, why is it One Take Travels? I'd like you to make a guess. While you guess, let's move on. I'd like to say a little bit about myself. I'm from Bangladesh, and I have moved around a number of countries thanks to my dad's different traveling and migration plans. And therefore, I have had the luck, opportunity to have come across some wonderful places which I'd like to share with you as time goes by. A little bit of my background also comes from India, and I have been to various places in India throughout my life, so it'll be interesting. And I've also been to Canada, I've studied in Malaysia, and now I am happily in Australia. So, a few cities that I have been to, and I'd like to share that. I'd love to start with my birth city, Dhaka. And one of the most amazing things about Dhaka is my favorite, the Parliament House. I've always wondered about this building. It's always been very amazing to me because it's surrounded by this lake, this pool of water, and it's almost as if the building floats on top of it. Um, it's something amazing for a kid, I guess, because there's shapes everywhere. And when I was a kid, I used to try and wonder what the names of each of the shapes are, the circles, the triangles. It's an interesting building, and probably some very interesting facts are here for architects. Um, I've also been in Kuala Lumpur, and while at Kuala Lumpur, I have been to Kuala Terengganu, which is where Kenyer Lake is, and Kolkata, Sydney. I have been to Ottawa in Canada, Ottawa. Not sure how you say it, or if I'm wrong, please leave me a feedback on how to actually say Ottawa. Of course, Melbourne and Sydney, because I have been living in Australia forever. I have been to Montreal, Kangaroo Island, and Adelaide, and the list can go on. And hopefully, there will be more videos, and the cities will add to my bag. And I can share more of the cities with you. Look at that, it just keeps going. One more, and that. Oh, and my most recent excursion was going to the Sundarban. As you can see, that my accent sort of goes back and forth between my English and my Bengali because I try and say the correct pronunciation. It's actually Sundarban, which basically means it's named after the Sundar trees, which are mangrove trees filled with that forest. And here's a few pictures of me back in the younger days. That's me with my child and my husband. Our trip to Kuala Lumpur, that's Kolkata, and that's the 12 Apostles, which I have been to, I think, 3 times or 2 times now, and I just think it looks different every single time. That's me chilling at Sundarban, and also I have successfully taken the pilot test for metro in Dhaka city this year, and I'm very proud of it. That's way back. That's in. And now a few travel tips. Traveling. My thoughts on traveling is it is a game changer. Every single travel, every single tour teaches you something new. When I traveled by myself, I had something to learn. Every struggle taught me something. Getting lost in the airport, getting lost in buses, I've done all that. I also travel with my kid, never leave him back. I just feel that despite the exhaustion, and various challenges, traveling is good for us as a family because it takes us out of our comfort zone and it teaches us resilience as a family. I love to explore. I love to explore the city I live in, which is Adelaide. and South Australia, my state. I love to explore whenever I get the chance. My most favorite places would be anywhere in India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Although I haven't been to Pakistan, especially because after traveling so much, I just end up feeling like there's a lot and lot more history and heritage in those three countries. And to be honest, I think those three would be my favorite countries because of the culture and heritage. Eat plenty. I love food, and I bet a lot of you do too. Every single place I feel that are defined by its food and its culture, the clothes, the people. So I try and eat whatever possible the local foods and dishes. I try and wear the clothes, and by that I don't mean anything um, freaky. It just means that in some places, like once I went to Darjeeling and we were asked to wear some costumes there, and that was super fun because I didn't look like myself, but apparently, the clothes do make you look different. Rest and recover. I always say that it doesn't matter how long a tour you're doing, you should also always rest and recover. Because if you're not resting and recovering, if you're not taking the time out to absorb what you've learned, or let your body rest, or just taking that time out, then there's no, traveling will never feel good. If you're traveling with a child, and you and your partner would obviously equally be exhausted, so will be your child. But just take turns and leave your kid with your husband, or leave your kid with your wife, which you probably do most of the time, and spend some time away from everything. Rest and recover before you embark on the next one. I am super interested in history and heritage of anywhere and everywhere. Every location has a story. One of my favorite examples is Victor Harbor. So Victor Harbor is a really um, small harbor in South Australia. We go there often. It's only about an hour's drive from our place. It was supposed to be the main port for South Australia. However, after government realized that it's not actually a very suitable port for big ships, they scratched that idea, and port a different port was selected. I'm not sure which port, but a different port was selected. Victor Harbor is spelled Harbor, which is an interesting spelling mistake by the person who registered it. So, as you can see, it's a tiny city. Nobody has ever even heard about it, but it's got an interesting story and heritage to it. So, wherever I go, I like to learn about the tidbits of those places. And while going through my videos, if you have any of those stories or if you're aware, feel free to share and comment um, in the comments boxes below. Thank you. Oh, last but not least, if you're traveling, especially if you're traveling overseas, consider taking vaccinations and consider packing medicines. It's important for two reasons. One, your body is used to wherever you reside. And changing seas, moving into places, um, your body may not easily adapt to the new medications of that country. So it's better to pack your own paracetamol or whatever, the basic off the shelf medications, or, doctors prescribe medications. And it's also important to speak to your doctor. Wherever you're going, they will know what vaccinations to take. It's a little bit expensive, but it's worth it for yourself, for your child, if your parents are traveling with you. It's all because, some of us, we don't consider taking travel insurance, and that's fine. I don't sometimes. Um, but this is kind of like an insurance, and at the same time, even if you do end up sick after taking the vaccination, think about it as you haven't been hit fully. You've been hit partially, because the vaccinations are normally always doing their jobs. So that's my piece of suggestion before signing off. Thank you.